some more bad news. It's just always bad news. Another death. This time, stand-up comedian and TV personality Bob Saget passed away while on tour. He was on a comedy tour. I believe he was in Florida when he passed away. But his body was found, and I think it was like a year. It was like on the anniversary of his sister's passing, I believe. I don't know. I haven't heard the cause of his death. But he wasn't that old. He was like 56. And he was just falling in love with comedy. Like, so many of the posts I saw were things from his like Twitter that he posted recently about how he fell in love with comedy again, and it's like he's just so stoked. I never got to see him do comedy. I've heard that he is one of the dirtiest comedians. Like, he's just a dirty comic. Like, he loves the blue humor, but also, from what I've heard from every comedian, that he was just the sweetest guy, the nicest guy. And the times I heard him on podcasts, he was always great. Douglas Movies re-released the one time he was a guest on Douglas Movies. But for me, Bob Saget was Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos. Full House, obviously, people know. It had kind of a rejuvenation, a re-release with the kind of follow-up to Fuller House, I think, is what the newer one is called. But that was a show that I loved growing up, Full House. And then America's Funniest Home Videos was basically, before any internet was around, before smartphones and before digital cameras, like, the only way to capture video was with a camcorder, a VHS camcorder. I guess you could have done it with film, but the first time consumers could really record things without having to worry about large development costs and things like that, developing film, VHS. And then you could send in your VHS tape of these silly things you found on video. And then Bob Saget would comment on them, do like voiceover stuff. I mean, it's basically what the internet produces primarily. I mean, there's accounts that are dedicated to posting like fail videos and just wacky things that happen. So they're everywhere. Like, America's Got No Talent is one of the, I think it's a Instagram and probably a TikTok account. Kids Getting Hurt. Like, there's all kinds. They don't have necessarily the comical voiceover stuff that Bob Saget used to do, but I loved that show. It was just a show about just everyday people doing like silly stuff happening to them, and I loved it. So it's sad. It's sad that he's gone so young too. And of course, I believe, as it happens every time now, when a celebrity dies, the anti-vax community spreads the misinformation, the propaganda that they died because they got vaccinated. That's how they honor the death of these people, is to use them in their propaganda, to use them to push their ignorant, delusional message that somehow vaccines are evil. And, listening to Joe Rogan is a sound medical idea. Anyway, R.I.P. Bob Saget. Go hang out with Betty White.